Good afternoon. Today I will be introducing you to some reading strategies that I use for fifth grade in my classroom. Let me start out by introducing myself. My name is Abelardo Acosta. I am from Presidio, Texas, a small community on the border next to Ojinaga, Chihuahua, Mexico. I will continue with the lesson for today. Take notes if you feel like doing so. I hope this is beneficial to you. Basically, what I use is called the runner strategy. As you can see on the bottom, it says runners. I use an acronym, RUNNERS. I will be breaking down each letter with the correct strategy. All right, let's go ahead and start with the letter R. As you can see on the screen, it says read the title and predict. In parentheses, read the title. You look at the pictures, scan the text. Do the pictures look real or fake? Is there dialogue through the passage? Is it fiction or nonfiction? These are some of the things that you have to remind the fifth graders, my fifth graders. That's what I remind my fifth graders to do every single time they get a passage. Otherwise, they'll just skim through it and not think about what they are reading. Now we go to underline. As you can see, it's the U. This will help students set a purpose for their reading. Students should underline important names, dates, and parts of the question. If a word is already bold or italicized, it is not necessary to underline. Please emphasize that to your students. What is the question really asking? This is what you tell your students. What is the author's purpose, main idea, sequencing, etc.? Now we get to the number, the letter N. Ask your students to number the paragraphs. If the passage contains a lot of dialogue, avoid numbering all the paragraphs. Otherwise, your students will be numbering throughout the whole passage, and that will really throw them off a little bit. Now, you read the paragraphs. What I tell my students is, you must read the paragraph, or I use the word digest. Make sure you digest every paragraph until you understand what the author is trying to say. And remember, remind them not to rush through it. Take their time. Now we get to the letter E. Enclose keywords. While reading the passage, students should circle or underline anything that reminds them of a question. This will make it easier for them when they are answering questions and looking back in the passage. I tell my students, make sure that you remember what you're reading. I tell them to use, on the keywords, I ask them to do a little rattlesnake. A rattlesnake, for example. If you're to step outside and you see a rattlesnake, chances are, if you're not careful, it's going to bite you. And that could cause problems, I tell my students. So, keywords in the passage is, or are, rattlesnakes. Watch out. If you forget the keywords, then chances are you're going to lose the concept or the idea of the paragraph. R. Reread the questions. Reread the questions with a focus on the important words that were underlined or circled. Again, make sure you understand what you circled and underlined. I usually tell my students, don't rush. Don't rush. Take your time. Again, digest what you just read. Let your mind process. And then think about the next one. The letter S. Select the best answer. You must show proof in the passage of where the answer was found. I tell my students, make sure you go back and you find the answer where you found it in the passage. Some students, I said some, have a tendency of being lazy and just answering whatever comes to mind first without actually looking at what the passage or the question is saying. So again, I understand kiddos, they get lazy just like we do sometimes. So we must remind them constantly. So basically, this is a review of what I just taught you guys. I know this is kind of fast, and so basically, just remember the acronym runners. Again, read the title and predict. Usually, predicting is one of the TEKS in the fifth grade. Basically, it's one of the high on the Bloom's taxonomy. That's what basically the STAR exam is all about. We must allow our students to think outside the box. If they don't, then they're going to have problems. Underline keywords in the question. Number the paragraphs. Read the passage. And close keywords. Remember keywords, I use the word rattlesnake. Reread the questions. Allow the students to enjoy the story first, look at the questions, go back and reread, and then do strategies on the side of the paragraphs. And then of course you select the best answer. I know this is kind of fast, but this concludes my mini lesson of how to work on some paragraphs, some passages, and hopefully you understand some of this concept. It's helped me over the years, and my kids do perform based on the runners' strategies. And remember, everyone, keep up the good work. What I see so far, you guys are doing amazingly well. Good luck in the future, and hopefully you'll reach your dreams of becoming administrators. Until next time, goodbye.